meeting. So I'm going to begin recording the meeting now. So again, if you do not feel comfortable with being on the meeting now that it's being recorded, exit, and we can connect with you offline. But without further ado, Jerod, I appreciate you taking time out of your Sunday. I'm sure you would love to be watching football, but also it demonstrates your commitment to the constituent of Peoria here to answer any questions. So I'll give it to you to go ahead and maybe provide an overview of why we have this program, any information that you want to share with the constituents, and then we'll start fielding some questions.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Councilman Allen, for having me. My name is Jerod McMorris. I am a Peoria resident. I live in Northmore Hills. I have been with Good Energy for about 14 years, approximately. And this program has been ongoing in the city of Peoria and about 45 other tri-county communities since 2011. Good Energy represents over 160 communities through municipal aggregation throughout the entire state. These programs, most of them started when Peoria did in 2011. Some started as recently as 4 years ago, as many communities wanted to get on board with municipal aggregation to move away from only one option being Ameren. They wanted to try to create competition and have optionality for their residents. The way that this program works, or it started, was this was a referendum that was proposed and put on the ballot back in 2011 by City Council. It was overwhelmingly approved. In fact, I would say of the 160 communities that we represent, some have put it on twice. But every time that a community has put it on, it has passed overwhelmingly. 60, 70, 80% is the norm for that. So residents in all the communities that we represent are looking for competition. They are looking for optionality, and they are looking for options for their electricity as opposed to having Ameren just being the one monopoly business. So the way this works with Good Energy is we then put the communities that have approved aggregation into buying groups, and pretty much we try to do it regionally. We have a Champaign community group, we have a Danville community group, two or three Metro East community groups, and this one obviously being the Peoria area, the Tri-County area group. And so when your contracts come up for bid, we don't wait till the last minute. We try to take a look and take advantage of where the market is at any given time and see breaks in the market or favorable opportunities. The current situation right now and why we moved forward with the contract about a month or so ago, and you received your opt-out letters in the last week or two, is because we saw a softening of the market, which is typical for this time of year. The fall and the spring is typically when we do see a softening in the markets, being a shoulder month. But then also, we have been hearing from our suppliers who offer your competitive pricing that if we waited until the spring, up until when your current contract, or later in the winter when your current contract expires, we may have a difficulty purchasing capacity. So if you think of energy as a piece of pizza, a slice of pie, whatever. And energy itself, the actual energy supply itself, makes up about 45 to 55% of the actual rate. There is transmission, there is capacity, there's a lot of other small slivers, maybe the slice of pie that your wife wants to have. For me, capacity has become very large. Capacity used to be an ancillary product that we didn't ever talk about, but capacity now is the ability to have power on demand at any given time. And so that is what's shown that we've had skyrocketing prices in Ameren and in downstate Illinois and throughout the country, really. But we are feeling the biggest pain here in Ameren during the summer months. And so what we were told by our suppliers is if we do not wait, or if we do wait, I should say, if we do wait, then there's a possibility that we will not be able to provide that one piece of the pie, which is becoming a larger piece, being capacity. At some point, capacity is going to be sold out. So if you'll remember our last contract that we did, if you recall, it was through a company called Energy Harbor. Energy Harbor there was no capacity back in 21, 22. That was at the beginning of the Ukraine Russia war. And so capacity was at a real premium. And so what we decided to do to be able to keep the program going was to have a capacity pass through. And that is one ancillary products that we pass through. And so you paid exactly what the market gave you. But by doing that, the city of Peoria and all the other surrounding areas wound up having multiple opt-out letters. And so we heard the response that we don't like these opt-out letters. Like I got one too. And you want something fixed. And that's what we got from council and from city manager Urick. So we adjusted and we only are offering a fully fixed price, and this is a fully fixed price for 18 months. You'll see on the opt-out letter that there is two rates. There's a 5-month rate of essentially 9.5, and then there's a 13-month rate of 13.3. So this will stair step alongside with the Ameren's increases and decreases. Typically in the non-summer months, Ameren's rates have been lower. And so when you start the program in December, this will be at a low comparable to where Ameren normally is. And then once the summer months start and Ameren increases their rates, that's where the increase and that we see the increase in the fixed price that the city of Peoria negotiated, and we help negotiate on their behalf. We do run a competitive bid process. We have 3 suppliers. We're working on a fourth to offer competitive bids. Homefield Energy was the winner of this competitive bid. And again, this is technically a 24-month contract. We were able to secure 24 months of energy, but we were able to purchase capacity for the first 18 months. So that's why when you got your opt-out letter, that the fixed price covers the first 18 months of the contract. And I know that's a little complicated, so I'm very happy to answer any questions about it. One of the last things I will mention, well, a couple things, sorry. I'll just keep going. If you were to opt out, you can opt out at any time. It doesn't matter if you opt out today or at the deadline, September 30th, or if you opt out in November, December, January. You can opt out for free at any time that you choose. You can opt out on the very last day of the program if you want, for free. There's never any termination fees to opt out of this program. Um, the only issue, the only problem, and this is an Ameren rule. This is not a Jerod McMorris rule or Good Energy or Homefield rule. This is an Ameren rule. If you opt out of the program, then you are required to stay on Ameren's tariff rate for 12 months. So essentially 1 year. So it wouldn't be for a year from now that you could rejoin the program, meaning if you were to opt out now, you would have to suffer through, and in my opinion, suffer through next summer's Ameren tariff rates. We have received projections from 3 different suppliers, and as you can imagine, they're all over the board, but their range of what they are expecting next summer is anywhere from 14 to 17 cents per kilowatt hour for next summer. And that's June, July, August, and September of 2026. So what this program provides is insurance and a safe haven so that there isn't the volatility and the fluctuation in your price. My folks in Danville have the exact same program going on, and I told my dad that you should stay in it. This is my own personal opinion for my father, because they can't necessarily stomach or weather such a large increase. Going from 8, 9 cents up to 16, 18 cents would be a dramatic increase next summer. So what this offers is insurance, and still looking for savings, but looking for a level playing field and to keep things steady. So those are some of my opening thoughts that I have on it. Andre, if you want to either open it up to questions or fire away anything that you've got.
Thank you, Jared. I really appreciate, that context. I think it's important to provide the historical context that this was something that was placed on the ballot via a referendum in 2012. And so constituents, this is something that we said we wanted. Um, we're doing our best to leverage, our group buying power in order to provide those competitive rates to our constituents. I know we know that there's a lot of nuances to this of why electricity and demand on grid and shifting from coal to more green energy and some of the challenges that that has had as well too have put us in the predicament that we are here today. But yeah, at this time though, if anyone has any specific questions for Jerod, feel free to either raise your hand and I will call on you, or simply you can just, if you don't know how to use that function, you can uh, you can just unmute yourself and introduce yourself. That's fine. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Looks like we've got something in the group chat from Dennis over in Liberty Village. Do we know what Ameren rates will be, Jerod?
Well, we don't know officially what things will be for the non-summer. They have not announced it. Ameren does not have to announce their rates until they begin, and so they have not officially announced it. We expect them to decrease from where they're currently at. This summer, June through September, the Ameren tariff rate has been 12 to 12.2. And we do expect that to go down. Now, will it be lower than the 9.5 that the city of Peoria has negotiated? We don't really know. Our fear, and again, I'll go back to this probably as many times as you'll all be on the line, is what our fear is what's going to happen next summer. And next summer is where we are getting our projections because of where that capacity market is expected to come in. PJM is the grid that's above us. That's ComEd all the way to Pennsylvania. They've already had their second capacity auction in a row that has blown through all of expectations. It has 2 years in a row now has been higher. And so if we were going to get any relief whatsoever, it was going to come from ComEd. It was going to come from PJM's grid up in Chicagoland with all their nuclear power plants. But they are not going to be able to help us for a second year in a row. So we feel the capacity auction will be released in April for the 26-27 rate year. But all indications have that going to cone, which is the cost of new business. So that'll be a very high number again. And so really what we're looking to protect, folks, is from next summer. The 4 summer months represent over 50% of your annual usage. So most of your power bill in the wintertime, October through March, is natural gas. And we're not talking about that today. We're talking about electricity. Your electricity usage, well over 50% is on those 4 months of summer, which happen June through September. So no, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what Ameren's rates will be. We do expect it to go down, but we don't know where because they have not announced it, nor will they. They're not required till the new rates start.
Thank you, Jerod. I did see that we had a couple other people join us. Uh, Friendly reminder and disclaimer, this meeting is being recorded to share for informational purposes. So if you're not comfortable with being recorded, please exit the meeting and then just contact me and myself and Jerod will look to connect with you offline. We have another question in the chat from Sylvia. How you doing today? Hope you and Seth are doing well. Any concerns with reliability with home field energy?
Okay, good question. So Homefield has been the supplier that has provided supply for this municipal aggregation program for every single contract, with the exception of the one Energy Harbor contract. There's been no issues, no interruptions, nothing that's been the cause for concern. Homefield is based in Dallas, Texas, but they have regional offices in Collinsville, Illinois. They are probably the second largest supplier in the country. As far as reliability, it's Ameren's responsibility to deliver power. So if you look at your Ameren bill, you'll notice that there are really two main parts of your bill. One is the delivery side, and that's just like UPS or FedEx. Their responsibility, Ameren's responsibility, is to deliver your power, and that's why you'll continue to receive an Ameren bill. Ameren is the only way that Ameren is profitable because when deregulation started in 2007, the ICC in Springfield said that Ameren can no longer be profitable off of supply. So they are absolutely indifferent. Again, they are like FedEx or UPS. They do not care who is supplying your power. It just like UPS doesn't care if it's a pair of Nikes or a pair of Reeboks in their delivery. They're going to deliver it, and the only way that they get paid, Ameren, is to make sure that your meter is spinning. And so they do not care if it's home field or any other supplier that's providing power.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Jared, for that response. Uh, Looks like John has a question, and then Ms. Sharon, I see you got your hand up, and I'll be to you next. So John is saying, is Arcadia one of the energy providers?
No, Arcadia is not a vetted, approved supplier. We go through a rigorous approach. So the four that we're talking to, I'll mention the three that we use right now. One being Direct Energy, also known as NRG. They've got a stadium in Houston. They're playing football in right now, NRG or Direct Energy. The next is Constellation. They are based out of Chicago. And then the third being Home Field Energy, which is also based out of the Texas area. The fourth that we have not yet secured any contracts with is a company called Calpine, and they are out of San Diego, but they have not won any of our bids. But no, Arcadia is not a approved provider for this program. Um, we don't request any bids from them even on, we also represent the Chamber of Commerce, the Peoria Area Chamber of Commerce, and they are not approved to represent chamber members here in this region through our vetting qualifications.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, John, for that question. Ms. Sharon, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you, Jared. My question is, I opted out of the program in May of last year. So Ameren is currently supplying my electrical supplier. Does that mean that will I be automatically enrolled with Home Field? Or do I have to stay? I thought I heard you say like I have to stay in for 12 months or something if I pick
Correct.
Ameren.
Sharon, did you receive an opt-out letter this time?
I did.
Okay, then that means that you most likely would have already served your 12-month hold. So you are now eligible again. If you received the letter, then you will be enrolled come the December meter read if you do not opt out now.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
the other catch to that, Sharon, since you have opted out and you've already actually spent your 12 months on the Ameren hold because you received the opt-out letter, if you opt out now, then you can join at any time. So if you want to wait, opt out now today. And then if you want to wait until you see what Ameren's prices are, then you can then join at any time as well. It will just take about a meter read or two, 30 to 60 days to enroll in the program. So you're in a good situation, Sharon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon. We have another question. Before I get to that question, I see that someone else did just join. We appreciate that. Just a friendly reminder that this meeting is being recorded. If you're not comfortable with being recorded, please exit and me and Jared will connect with you offline. Thank you. The next question is from Pamela Staby. Can commercial accounts go through the aggregation program?
Yeah, some can. That's the tricky part. So commercial accounts, otherwise known as DS2, represent about 10% of the entire Peoria load. So those folks are saving an immense amount of money right now because the commercial accounts through Ameren is already 14.5 cents. And we typically see that residential rates slowly follow the commercial or the business rates. However, this is for small commercial accounts. And when we say small, it doesn't mean the size of your business. It only means the size of your usage. So if your commercial account uses 15,000 kilowatt hours or less per year, then you will be able to qualify for the City of Peoria's program. If you use 15,001 kilowatt hours on an annual basis, then you do not. You would need to reach out to me directly. I can then provide individual private pricing. If you're a chamber member, we could get you into the chamber program. Another little plug, Andre, since I'm here. We represent the Champaign County Chamber, the McLean County Chamber, and obviously here in Peoria, the Peoria County Chamber of Commerce program. And so we handle all of the commercial accounts that go through those chamber events as well. And you would qualify for something that we run there.
She had a
And nonprofit does not matter. It doesn't matter if you're a non-for-profit or not. It is your energy usage. The only the benefit if you're a non-for-profit, what I would recommend is Andre, Councilman Allen can put you in touch with me personally, can provide my email address, and I can take a look at your commercial Ameren bill, and I can see what would be best beneficial for you. But unfortunately, non-for-profits, it's all about usage. It's not about non-for-profit. Sorry.
great follow-up question there. And definitely always good. Shameless plug. I was the past board chair for the Peoria Area Chamber of Commerce. So all good there, Jerod. No worries. Any other questions for or comments or concerns for Jerod? Feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand or put your question in the chat. Ms. Sharon, did you have another question there?
Of course, Andre.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, Ms. Sharon.
Um, I is it possible for me to like email Jerod directly? I just need some clarification on this opting out, and I don't want to waste other people's times. That because I opted out, I don't. Yes, that's my question.
I'm happy if Councilman Allen can share my email address or Sharon or even my cell number, Sharon, and we can talk offline. But absolutely, maybe somebody else does have the question about how to opt out. So if you want, I have the time. If you'd like to follow up on that, that's fine.
Okay, I'll go through it again. It's related to my previous question, but I've thought about it. I opted out last May, so I was not with um, Home Field. I'm with
Mhm.
Ameren.
Yep.
And I think what I heard you say is if I received the letter, then I'm going to be automatically signed up for Home Field. And I could stay with Home Field until I see what Ameren's going to offer for their winter rates. And then if I thought I was getting a better deal with Ameren, then I could opt out of Home Field at that time.
Yes, at any
But
time.
But then are you saying, is the rule then that I would have to stick with Ameren for a year?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thanks, Andre.
No, no problem. No problem. That's what it's about, us answering our questions and getting some clarity on this. Um, looks like we do have another question from John. John put in the chat there. I think I opted out at a previous time. The reason being I had already had an agreement with Arcadia to provide solar energy, and Arcadia had penalties for stopping them that was not attractive. I have since received another opt-out letter. Ameren accepted by opt-out choice. Will this keep happening?
Yes. Um, so two things there. So we have received differing information about folks that have net metering or solar on their roof. So the long and the short of it is I feel like if you have net metering, if you have solar and you don't want to have any possible chance of losing your solar energy credits, you will need to opt out every single time. Currently, there is not a function that allows you to imminently or perpetually always opt out. So once a new program starts, you are going to be notified through the winning supplier and the city of Peoria through the opt-out letter that this is now going to start, in this case, in December. Um, However, we have also received information directly from Ameren and from other energy suppliers stating that you will not lose your energy credits and you can in fact double dip. However, so you should be able to breathe easy and not lose your energy credits that you're acquiring through your solar contract. But if you want to just make sure, go ahead and opt out, and that way you will not have any disruption from your Arcadia contract. If you're receiving the opt-out letter, that means you qualified for the city program.
We have another question from Dennis. He asks, "Why do I see so many windmills standing idle in hot weather?"
Yeah, good question. I don't know. The only thing I can, because I asked the same question, Dennis, is that either it just got built or they're doing some sort of maintenance on it or it is broken. Those are the three options that I've ever been able to think of or come up with, but I have the exact same concerning question because we need more solar and we need more wind because we're not getting coal back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I did put Jared's email in the chat, jared@goodenergy.com. So you'll see that in the chat. And again, Jared has stated that he will reach out to you or connect with you offline if you have any follow-up questions. Miss Sharon, I see you have another question. Go ahead.
Jerod, when will we know what Ameren's winter rates are, just if we stay on with them and we get the bill?
No, they're supposed to announce it probably the first week of October, so not too
Okay.
long, but they have not. So I cannot definitively say what it is because they have not announced it. They legally have up until October 1 to announce their rates. I expect they're going to be somewhere in the high eights, mid to high eights. But that doesn't faze me at all because I don't use as much energy in the winter. I'm looking to protect my bill in the summer of 26.
Okay, thank you.
Great question there, Miss Sharon. Um, any other questions, comments, concerns? Give it a few more seconds, see if anyone else has any. Yes, Sylvia, I will extract this recording and upload it to my personal YouTube page, and I'll send a follow-up link to our listserv. So I'm going to work on doing that today, and hopefully you all will get this in an email to the link sometime tomorrow. That way you can go back, watch it, and then from there, if you need to share it with any others, you can. I'll also probably share the link in a Facebook post as well. Yeah, no problem. Um, Pamela said, check on plug-in Illinois. They have the price
Mhm.
to compare.
Yep. When it's published, that's where it will be. Pluginillinois.com or .org. I'm not sure if it's a .org or .com. As soon as I type in plugin, it populates for me. But also on that Plugin Illinois site, you will see the 500 or so communities in Illinois, ComEd and Ameren, that are participating in municipal aggregation. It'll have the ComEd price to compare, and it will have the Ameren price to compare. But once it's published.
Awesome. John asked, can you repeat some of the advantages for opting in?
Well, when this program started in 2011, the only issue or thought behind it was to save money, and it had. And so for the first 10 years, it absolutely saved the residents of Peoria approximately $900 to $1,000 per household over that time frame. So about $100 a year is what it was saving. Over these last few years, when capacity has been such a premium, the focus of this program is for insurance and mostly insurance during the summer months. Again, so the 4 months of the highest usage, Those 4 months of the summer is June through September, and over 50% of the average electricity usage happens and takes place during those summer months. And so we feel, and we've gotten projections from 3 suppliers that have all stated that they expect Ameren's rates next summer to be somewhere between 14 to 16, 17 cents on the high end. And so if you don't want the volatility, the fluctuation, up and down, then this program is for you, because this program offers stability. It also offers insurance for this 18-month period, budget security as well. You know exactly what your rate's going to be. And so that's what we're looking towards. That's what we're looking for as far as preventing some of this fluctuation. Ameren has a summer and a non-summer, but they change their rates also in January. There's always a transmission increase that occurs in January. I think we put this statistic in some of the information that we gave the council, is that since our program started, the city of Peoria's program started in 2011, the municipal aggregation price or rate has changed 11 times, 11 different rate changes in the 14 years. And that you all are notified every single time that there is a rate change via this opt-out letter. However, Ameren has changed their price over 36 times in the same amount of time, and they never send an opt-out letter or send a message to you at home. You'll be lucky if you get it covered on the news, or if you're wise and vetty enough to know when it happens, is to go to Plug In Illinois and to be able to see how many times they've changed their price. But 36 times Ameren has changed their rates over the same amount of time that your city program has only changed 11 times. So that's the thing, in my opinion, with Ameren, is you really just don't know. They could come out tomorrow and announce that their non-summer price is 8.5 cents, but come November or December, they could turn around and increase or decrease it again without any publication.
I'm sorry, I still have another question. This is John Fendrick, some perspective. If I have that program from the Arcadia and I keep that, who has an issue with that? Would our Ameren have an issue if I kept that and joined with the program you're talking about?
They have told me no. They have told me that you will lose your energy credits twice a year, that it happens twice a year, that at some point your solar energy credits will be lost, and you will restart that process, but it is not because of the aggregation program. We would never want to be responsible for that, though. So I think it's just go ahead and I think it's just wise that we always have recommended to folks with net metering with solar, just go ahead and opt out, because we don't want to have a situation where you are responsible or the program was responsible. It's not a home field thing. It's not an Ameren thing. It just, I think just so happens that every 6 months or every 8 months or so, twice a year, you lose your solar credits. And a lot of times folks feel like it's because of the program, the municipal aggregation program, because sometimes it coincides with about the time that a new program starts.
Would you suggest probably talking to Arcadia or Ameren before I make a decision?
Certainly Arcadia. I think you're going to get the answer that I gave you when you call Ameren, because that's what they legally should tell you. But yes, absolutely. Reach out to Arcadia and find out what they think.
Yeah, I don't think I get any energy credits, but I know that if I stop the Arcadia, there's some kind of penalty.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll check. Thanks for the advice.
Thank you, John. Ms. Sherry?
Jerod, the insurance that I'm getting is in the opt-out letter, and I want to make sure I understand for how long it is. these rates? Are they for this 24 months or are they only for 12?
Well, there's what we know so far is 18 months. We know the fixed rate for 18 months, and that would be December of 25 through June of 27. And so
Okay.
there where it's spelled out what the rates will be December through May and then May through June. And the reason why there's the overlap in May is because some people have meter reads that hit at different times. So that's why May is listed twice. But you would have that insurance guaranteed fixed price. There's going to be no change in the rate that was negotiated by the city from Homefield
Okay.
for that
So
period.
I've got guaranteed from December 2025 to June 2027, but will we receive more opt-out letters?
No, you will not receive another opt-out letter until the final 6 months of this contract starts. As I mentioned, it is a little tricky. The city of Peoria did purchase it is a 24-month contract, but we did not state the final 6 months because we don't know what the capacity portion is going to be because nobody was selling capacity past 18 months. And this is where it gets into the weeds. And the reason why the city of Peoria has hired Good Energy to represent them is because essentially by the city hiring Good Energy, every single resident in the Tri-County area that participates in this has their own energy consultant that we're providing for. So this is where you will receive another opt-out letter, probably somewhere March, April of 27 for the final 6 months of this actual contract that the city signed. But we don't know what it's going to be because the capacity auction has not yet happened.
Okay, thank you.
Great questions. Great questions. Does anyone else have any questions for Jerod? Well, hearing none, I believe that Jerod, we appreciate you taking time on your Sunday to connect with us. One of the things that you stated was although September 30th is the published deadline, it isn't a blood oath. And so constituents can make decisions after that. Jerod has agreed to join us next Thursday at our October monthly Coffee with Constituents that will take place at Panera Bread from 7 to 8 a.m. So if you have questions, you can bring those to Panera on Thursday. Feel free to share with your neighbors and your residents as well. And then, like I said, I will do my best to figure out how to upload this video to YouTube and share the link to you all to go back and watch the recording. But he will be there this Thursday to probably rehash a lot of the things he said today and then field any questions that group may have. But Jerod, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for joining us, and also a special shout out to our city clerk, Miss Stephanie Tarr, for also joining us on a Sunday. I owe her coffee for this, so I appreciate you, Stephanie, but or Clerk Tarr, excuse me. But I thought it was very important that you all have the information so you can make the best informed decision for your household. So again, thank you all so much, Jerod. Thank you, and we'll see you all soon. God bless.
What time is the meeting on Thursday?
It's at 7 a.m., John. 7
Okay,
a.m. at Panera Bread in Westlake Shopping Center.
okay, thanks.
Yep, I provide a free cup of coffee, so it's worth it. See you all. Take care.